Hello, my name is Stuart Loughridge. I'm a full-time artist, and my basic methodology is to go out and about and develop small sketches in watercolor and develop these sketches into larger paintings. These are often landscapes and they're quick sketches. An example of one is the moonrise just the other night. I went out and did a quick sketch of this moonrise over the river valley. And I like these ideas. I like how loose they are. Here's an example of one looking out over some lake regions just outside the city in which I live. These are sketches on toned paper using a variety of transparent and opaque watercolors. Again, here's a sketch on a blue toned paper right down on the river. I took out the entire city and made it more of a natural scene. These little sketches are a major inspiration and driver for my work, but they're so small, so how do you take that leap into enlarging them, and what happens to the space on these sketches when you enlarge? Something in a small sketch that may not be so apparent becomes glaringly apparent when you go large. And a good way to do that for me is to take the stress off the materials. And so I'll develop cartoons in the traditional meaning of the word cartoon, which is a preparatory sketch for a larger piece. So I will often do my cartoons on cardboard with the medium of gouache. And it just is, it's like working my sketch onto a larger version of itself. So here's an example of a gouache painting on cardboard. You can even see there's a ding in the cardboard. It's all right, it doesn't matter. It's just a cardboard piece. I don't have a whole lot of attachment to it. Gouache is different than watercolor in a few ways. They do both have gum arabic as their base medium, and they both can be recharged or re-wetted, unlike acrylic paint. The difference of gouache from watercolor is that gouache is an opaque medium. It's mixed with calcium carbonate, which is a chalk, and the pigment is also more coarse. So watercolor is a transparent medium. If you're painting on a cardboard with watercolor, just that brown is going to keep dulling your colors. But with gouache, it's an opaque color, and it's nice to start out on a tinted surface. So I have here my layout. We're working on glass that I have found at thrift stores. I have some pencils, tubes of paint, the opaque whites, of course, and my paper towels are out, the water, brushes. When painting gouache, it's great to use old worn out brushes. And then I have the easel. I'll be working upright and standing.
Hey, sorry for the interruption, but Emily here, and I want to tell you about a super cool offer that I have for you from Craftsy. If you don't know what Craftsy is, it is an online community with resource of millions of creative and like-minded makers where members can find endless inspiration, advance the skills you already have, or discover a new favorite hobby or craft that you've always wanted to try. Craftsy offers more than 2,000 exciting classes in over 20 popular categories, everything from sewing and crochet to baking and painting. The classes are broken down into easy to follow lessons and are led by friendly, award-winning instructors like me who share creativity, wisdom, and provide step-by-step tutorials. I loved Ashley Huff's sewing class on how to sew super cute skirts. I'm not much of a garment sewer myself, but she had so many approachable tips and tricks on how to make this pattern so easy with her instruction. And I also loved Brenda K.B. Anderson's crochet class on how to crochet rainbow home decor because, let's be honest, who doesn't love a giant rainbow pillow? She also had some amazing tips on how to turn your work when making curves in crochet. I got so inspired by Heather Thomas's class on creative finishing and edging for her quilt, and she reminded me just how awesome and fun it can be to embellish the finished edges of your quilt. She also taught me a new method for how to make the corners of my quilts even more precise. And a huge thank you to Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. The cool thing is though, as a Craftsy member, you will also have access to live stream tutorials where experts answer questions, share tips, and engage with the Craftsy community in real time, which I absolutely love. So the first 1,000 people to click on the link in the video description will get a full year of premium membership for Craftsy for only $1.49. So click the link below and let's get creative together.
So working on cardboard is just a low stress substrate. You can procure it anywhere. Everybody's getting boxes of packages and whatnot, and you can just cut up these pieces of cardboard, tape them to a ladder or your wall or an easel or work flat on the floor, and make just have a fun way of painting. And I find that excitement and that fun you bring to that painting could then really inspire you to perhaps pursue a more serious substrate into more of a challenging medium. But to have that fun, easygoing excitement at the beginning where you're not worried about inexpensive materials. I mean, the cardboard can just be cut down and put into any old frame. You could use it as packing material. You're just not attached to the finished product, but just having fun. That's what this is all about. And I hope you'll give it a try in your own methods in developing small ideas into a larger format. Thank you.